Yeah, I noticed that at the end. Well, it's like he hadn't even, he didn't strain a muscle to be.
Didn't even stop to use the restroom or take a break. He did.
Yeah. Cindy, we got a
But that's your nurse?
low battery. You just changed it?
When you're being satisfied
Wow.
with everything you want to know.
I don't know.
Because I could literally.
Or backwards, or
No, I don't need food, I don't need anything. But I do. Well, all it took was 2 seconds of Mrs. Mimi.
Mhm.
2 seconds, literally. And I was whoop, like this with my head and went down.
oh, you were on the floor.
I was on the floor. And I wanted to make sure I had the mat because I knew I would go down. And
Yeah.
I wanted to be in that position. I didn't want to be sitting in a chair with feeling that. So, and I just went, and my father was with me. He drove in from Rochester.
Right.
And he was standing on the mat, and I just can remember just praying for my father for the healing of his back.
Wow.
He was supposed to go in for surgery on the 13th, and I don't want him to go in for back surgery, but anyways. So I just kept praying, and just asking Jesus to heal him. And I kept saying that, and then all of a sudden it was like, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus. So it had already happened. So it was sort of interesting how my chant or my prayer changed. It's the healing had done. Now I opened my eyes, and I had, little tears coming out. And I had my eyes open just briefly, and I could see Dr. Nemi working on my father. But then I didn't get touched by Dr. Nemi.
You were already out.
Oh, you never got touched by him.
He probably did, but I never felt him. And so
Wow.
I'm like slowly.
Are we cool? Good.
So at some point, I'm feeling this and all this, and then I'm like, okay. Well, I'm feeling like I'm coming out of it. I'm like, maybe I'm supposed to stay here because he hasn't come to me yet.
Wow.
Finally, Mrs. came over, and I said, she came over because she came over and tried to pick the other guy up that was there
Yeah.
for quite a while. She said, yeah, I just came over and just prayed over him. I'm like, okay. And I got up, and I couldn't drive. I mean, I had to wait a while to get my parents. So when
Yeah.
I got in the car, driven. But what was interesting is probably within that hour, I had sharp pains that were right in this area because I've had blood clots twice
Ooh.
in my lungs.
Ooh.
And so I had asked for healing of the legs, which
Yeah.
is where some of the blood clots came from.
Right.
And I remember Dad and I went to a restaurant, and I had 2 or 3 sharp pains that were so much that if I was talking, it would take my breath away. So that was in this, which is where it comes up through. So that was quite interesting.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And then I felt a little twitch.
But you feel that was part of the healing,
Oh,
correct?
yeah,
Yeah. Cool.
So, but I did feel different sitting in the restaurant. I just felt a sense of more lightness.
So, okay, you felt aliveness, but you weren't feeling a physical effect like Otto was feeling.
Well, he felt like he's on a ship. I
Uh-huh.
felt, I couldn't drive for a while.
Okay.
So I stayed outside for a while.
Yeah. What about you, Isabel? I mean, were you?
Didn't feel it.
You didn't feel anything?
No, I knew I wasn't feeling
Yeah. Didn't you even feel the energy
it. Well,
that he had?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if it was the aspirin and the paracetamol that I had taken or it was the energy here.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe both. He was pushing me. That's why I was swaying. Yes, he pushed me.
She pushed
He
you?
pushed me.
Me too.
Yeah.
Andrew Ford said it perfect. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't,
And she can't. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But the guy who gave the talk before we started, or as we were starting, said it doesn't matter if you fall over or not. It doesn't mean that if you
Well,
feel
I wouldn't fall over unless I was feeling like I was, losing I swayed, I think. I was worried about Dina. I was figuring, well, if she falls that way, I may not be able to catch her. But if she falls this way or this way, I can catch her. Yeah. But you know, they left as soon as he had passed. The catchers were not there. You know, they were down there worrying about the next people that he was just touching.
Yeah.
So, and you know, you're still,
They could have used maybe a few more catchers. just
yeah,
in case.
I suppose. But interesting experience. Boy,
Yeah.
loved
How was
it.
it for you, Nick?
Oh, I loved it. The energy was just incredible. Yeah, yeah.
Did you?
I wished I could have understood the prayer a little more, because I could not make out words that he was saying, because he just repeats it by rote and he's very soft. Oh, I made out the word Jesus, and you know, there were some things along that line. But I loved watching him, how he worked with each person, and then how he'd think about it, and no, he was sensing something, and he'd go back.
See, and that's what he's trying to get him to understand, that he's very intuitive about
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
That's what mediums do.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, working with somebody who is a medium. Ooh.
How do they feel about the church and what's going on? That movement, are they comfortable with? Like at the end, when everyone put their hands up, they seemed a little like, you know.
This is not the way we
They're not
pray.
used to people praying for them.
Oh, so that was it, where you could notice a little bit of, yeah. Yeah, and he kind of stepped behind. He was not really at the forefront of the circle at that time. Yeah, maybe he was hiding from the energy. It's a bunch of new age energy. I don't know if I want that.
Well, what was interesting is I walked away and I said to someone afterwards, I said, you know what? I never even got to see his face. Because I was gone. I never saw his face because I never felt him up near me. I didn't see his face. So, and I said, this is Carol, I didn't even see his face.
Yeah.
So, I mean, didn't I have a dream this morning that I was at somebody's house that had him there for dinner? Him and his wife were there for dinner, and there was like 3 other couples. So I
Yeah.
finally got to see his face. I might-
Oh, and you had it in a dream.
Yeah.
Did everybody sleep like a rock, more so than usual? Yes.
When I woke up, I was like coming back from somewhere far away. You know, I
Really?
was like, I had not been in that room.
Yeah,
I dream
yeah.
of cockroaches again. But for the first time in my life,
Isabel,
I stepped on one.
Oh, that's progress.
In my dream.
That's good.
I can't.
I had an experience with a wonderful healer, and then I dreamed of cockroaches.
Maybe that was, you were stepping on what bugs you.
Oh, there you go.
Stepping on what?
What bugs you.
That's
Oh, good insight.
Well, there were new ones coming.
Step on them too. You're watching the fungus.
Wow. Well,
Stephanie was very funny. I said, we were sitting over there, Greg and I and Kathy, and all her workers
yeah.
down, and I said, well, all your workers go down. She said, "You lazy."
Funny.
She was precious. You can feel her.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, when Elaine introduced me to her, I said, because my hands were freezing from being out there. And I said, I apologize for my cold hands. And she just took them even more, and she held them, and she said, cold hands, warm heart. So, yeah.
My dad said he could feel the heat of Dr. Newton's hands. He said they were so warm.
Yes.
He compared it to like my hands with Reiki.
Yeah.
They get so warm, you know.
Well, that's what Otta said. He just feel the heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a tremendous amount of heat. So it's different for everybody. Wow. And you've been out of it ever since? Wow, your enemy, the Catholic Church, is...
Well, to me, they're not, because you see, I'm going against them. And believe me, I'm getting repercussions from it. Like if I go into certain restaurants, they don't want to wait on me. I sense it. I feel
Well,
it going.
maybe if you just thought, they're not my enemy, they're my buddy. And just a mindset, just a little bit of a viewpoint change.
It's too late.
Oh, man. It's too late for you. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Never too late. So. Okay. Why don't we do some homework? You want some homework? That way I won't forget it. You wanted to say something?
Well, I had a session afterwards.
You had a session with who?
With a client, somebody who was at the guest house.
Oh, good. Good, good, good.
Yeah, I saved 8 demons. Whoa.
You saved the demons. You
Yes.
said it again. You
Yes.
saved the demons. You didn't save the people from the demons. You saved the demons.
Yeah, I want to save all demons, make them angels again. So that's what I did.
8 demons.
Yeah.
We're in one
Person.
little old lady.
No,
At-
it was for one of her friends. It was a remote healing.
Oh, you didn't heal her directly.
No, she wanted to do this for her friend
Uh-huh.
because he was on the phone. No, she was at the guest house.
But where was the person with the demons?
I don't remember where she lived.
But some other state, some other...
No, she was at the guest house. My client was at the guest house.
Yeah, but the person you were saving from or the person whose demons you were saving.
No, you didn't even know.
Uh-huh. Where do they live?
I don't know where he is, in some other city. Remotely. Read Dr. Baldwin's book.
8 demons.
Yeah, they turned him into an alcoholic, he took drugs, he was always angry, hateful, he was a mess. He
They-
went to jail 3 times because he beat up women.
They must have been pretty lightweight demons to be able to
These ones were lightweight.
boy. Because I know what Patty says. She says there's very, very few demonic presences. She has encountered them. Once for the Catholic Church, where it was specifically a young boy, and for some reason she said it was just a horrible situation. But she says there's not many demons. How could you get eight in one person?
They all are demons. The ones that have never had a human body, they're all demons. It's just that they're...
Oh, so we have a semantic problem here. You're talking about anybody who is possessing someone else as a demon?
A spirit that has never had a human body is a demon. Anyone else is not a demon. He just turns demonic or turns evil. But these ones have never been human. That's what makes it.
Okay,
Doesn't mean
I
that
think it's a semantic problem then.
Doesn't mean
Yeah.
that they're going to attack you. No,
Yeah.
it's very few.
Hmm. So, they're just fighting back this morning. That's all there is to it. Okay. All right, homework. Well, I would like you to write a case history. Number 1. This is 3. Now, I think you can do this in 40 hours. So, you're going to work with spirit contact therapy. I think a lot of you are doing it already, but do 1 case history where you explain what this is about, and then you relate the dialogue, relate the case. You don't have to type every word of the case history, but because some of it will get boring. You can say that, you know.
You read in your book. You were doing
No, I did not put every word in there. If you read it carefully, you will see I say, we went through the preliminaries and the preliminaries might have been 2 pages.
But you did the Q&As.
Yeah, the Q&A, but that's not necessarily everything the client said. That you can put, if you want to, do it. But then it gets real boring. And I just want you to have this to put on your website. And so you want to make it fast reading. And you can say, this is a condensed version of whatever happened, if you want to, on your website. Leave a little mystery in it. But, so send me a case like that. And if you want to put down, ideally, I'll take it any way I can get it, but I'd rather have it where I can hold it in my hands and read it. So Box 38, Malibu, California is the place to send it. And I've got all your addresses. I need yours, all that information about you. I can get it from I've got it probably in my files from when you were up there. Yeah. But still, write down on a piece of paper, you know.
Jason's got it.
Yeah.
And when I leave, you get a card, it's got my will on it.
Okay.
And the email.
Okay. Good. Good.
It's a business card.
Yeah. Good.
I love it. Sure.
Good. Good.
No wonder I don't get no clients.
Behave yourself. As Dina said last night, behave. That was funny. When the guy was talking about putting a clothespin on his... Behave.
Are you there for that? No.
Too much information, right? I like the orange girls.
Yeah, I know.
I just... Did you compare notes last night? And you
I
said,
got up and I went to.
you know, I will...
I took the shower and
Yeah. It's going to be just this long in the sleeves, and it's slightly darker color on this one than on that one, but yeah, but yeah, you got. Okay, I like this won't take you very long, but you're going to have to think about it a little bit, and I'd like to see a marketing plan. What you're going to do? What are you going to do to promote yourself? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you wrote down that last that we were talking about, right? Yeah, about doing the spirit contact case history. Okay, then let's see your marketing plan. I'm not done yet.
Helping us. But this is homework, the market is like that.
Well, of course it's homework. You got 40 hours of homework.
Right.
You have to do 40 hours of homework, or we have to do 40 more hours in here of training. I feel okay too. I would love it. You know, I got a comfortable little apartment over there, and you know, it's fun working with you guys. So,
You've already got a copy. Oh,
yeah, yeah. I've got your ads.
well, what else is there? That's what I'm doing.
Well, what else are you going to do? What else are you inspired to do?
Ads, more ads, many locations.
And so only ads in a print magazine? Is that?
We have two things that come out once a year, not that full page, but not
Okay, good.
one of them is the Lake Society group.
Mhm.
I'm there for that.
Well, I don't need the whole information on it at this point, Ada, but just whatever you've got and what else you're planning on doing. And if that's it, okay.
Not particular area, that's about it.
Yeah, okay. Well, nothing on the web. All those people have internet. Yeah, and what are you going to do on the web?
Stuff right now, I've got to change a lot.
Yeah, so but you can do some marketing on the web. You can certainly have a website where you refer them to your website in the ad, because the ad can only be so long, can only tell so much stuff, and you can tell everything on your website. So you've got to have a basic website, which is your hypnosis website, and then right off the bat you list all the things you do.
My papers on the web,
Yeah.
but it's all messed up right now for this reason. The man that does my web
No.
doesn't speak English.
No, I understand that. And I don't. That's too much information right now.
So there's a communication.
Uh,
Okay, after the marketing plan.
Yeah, so, but anyway, you can do that. You can use that to your advantage, and then you just tell people in your ads, go to my website, and then they've got all the information. Yeah, it does have it down there, I'd stress it. Anyway, the next thing I would like you to do is to write a really good article for your website. And I'd like to see it. In other words, you are promoting hypnosis. When somebody comes to your website, you have a very limited amount of time. In other words, they're not going to read a whole encyclopedia worth of information. So what do you say? What is your kicker to get them interested on the web? So it's an article that you're going to post. You don't have to post it, but chances are these are things you're going to do anyway. So it's not really heavy, hard homework. But I figure to do that well, do a good case history, and your marketing plan, that could easily take about 40 hours.
So the article is just writing an article on.
Well, it's selling up hypnosis. Why somebody should look to you, should come to you, and what hypnosis offers. And so usually you say, well, hypnosis is this, and it is valuable to quit smoking, or, whatever tack you're going to take. Now, I think everybody in here is going to work with spiritual hypnosis. So you're going to have to educate, because most people do not know. They might know it under the name of transpersonal, which is a combination of clinical and spiritual hypnosis. But I don't know. So
The reason why I was questioning article-based is because on my website, I do have a tab that's just hypnosis, and I would have to rate.
Mhm.
Within there, there's different tabs that you click on, what is hypnosis, blah, blah,
Okay.
blah. So
then just
same
print out
thing.
those pages and give those to me. You've already done part of it. But that's, the ideal effort. You put forth, you are selling your viewer upon coming to you. Yeah.
The marketing plan, it's probably going to be a page. How many pages would it have?
Well, can't you get a little more creative than just a page? Isabel? Oh,
I mean, I'm not a business person.
well, you have to be.
It doesn't have to be
You have to be to some degree, or otherwise your practice will not work. I mean, I'm sorry, you have to do these things, or you have to hire somebody to do them. It's a lot cheaper to do them yourself. But if you feel, I just cannot do them, I am not, now you're arguing limitation, 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 of course, but you can do them. You know how to write.
If you didn't have a business, like a business sense, then how could you get that client to you when you didn't know?
We were watching TV, we were watching Ghost, and there was this person that was possessed, so she kept asking me questions, and I was answering them, and she said, oh, go, see, that was your business.
If you like watching ghosts,
Got her interested in you, you got a chance to do this.
My business is already working, I don't need too much.
oh, now if you are not arguing in circles,
Yeah, okay, you know,
yeah, okay.
okay, we spent too much time on.
I've written many articles on my website. Do I translate them all into English, or just?
Well,
main
the
ones?
one that is, I thought you had English-speaking patients or clients.
No, they're Greek.
All of them are Greek?
Oh, it's all in Greek.
It's all in Greek. Yeah, translate them for sure. Your best effort, Isabel, for selling you. To the best you can, you sell you.
Okay, move on.
So I'll just translate the main article, the one?
Yeah, you can translate that, and you can tweak it a little bit with everything in mind that you have learned, so that you are doing that you're putting your very best foot forward. All right, now we're going to talk about the value of having a lot of little short stories that you can pull out of your pocket.
Was that it from almost those?
Yeah, those three
Okay,
things.
thanks, I think
Okay. Maybe you're doing a seminar and you have to have a filler. You got 15 minutes left and you want to make every single minute valuable for them. If you have some little Zen, Sufi, any of the basic philosophy, there are many, 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 many books where they tell these short stories. They're stories, and I combine them with a process. And I think it's very valuable. You could do this with a client. In other words, you've got 15 minutes left with your client, and you say, well, let's do a little process. And so you pull one of these, and you probably just have them in your mind because they're not difficult to commit them to memory. And you do it. You tell a little story and say, close your eyes. Don't just close your eyes. and I want you to focus, and then you set up the process. So, as an example, I'm going to do several of them, and so you have a good understanding of how it works. So, all right, now, a man went to a great mystic. He'd heard all about how great this mystic was. And he was studying spirituality, and he was concerned with letting go of his chains of attachment to material things. And so he went in, this is a Sufi story, and he went to this mystic, and he went into the temple, and he said, "Master, how can I let go of my chains of attachment?" And the mystic, instead of answering him, he just leaped to his feet. He ran across the room to a pillar there in the room, and he put his hands around the pillar, and he started to scream, "Save me from this pillar! Save me from this pillar! Save me from this pillar!" And the man asking the question, he thought he'd gone mad. And he couldn't believe this, and soon all this shouting from this guy, "Save me from this pillar." People were coming into the temple and looking, and the man that was asking the question said, quit this, what are you doing? What are you doing? The pillar is not holding you, you are holding it. And the mystic went, oh, well, if you understand that, he says, realize your chains of attachment are not holding you. You are holding them. And so close your eyes for just a minute. You already have the answer. And he said, simply let go. And so I'd like you to meditate upon your own chains of attachment, your own prejudices, all the things that you consider chains of attachment to things that are not working in your life. And meditate upon the idea of just letting go. All right, you can open your eyes. Are you holding? Are you the one that's holding on to a lot of your chains of attachment?
Yeah, but for a good purpose.
Why are you holding on to your chains of attachment? Yeah.
Well, first to safety, and then if I hold on to the whole situation, I have a boyfriend, even if he's not real.
Even if he's not a boyfriend, even if he's married to someone else and does not want to see you.
Well, he doesn't want to talk to me now. So that's something.
Yeah.
It's better than nothing.
No, I think it'd be a lot better to create a new life and a new boyfriend. And all that. I know I'm not going to get into an argument, but I have a feeling you might be better off. Okay. You get the idea. Now, we can easily discuss this, and we can get into a discussion that won't really go anywhere, and share a few things, and it would be good. But I'd rather spend the time just quickly here going through a few more stories. So you find that the Zen stories, and there are an abundance of Zen stories in all of the Zen books, and they usually, more often than not at least, they will involve two monks. And so two monks are walking along the road, and they come to a stream. And the stream is recently been widened by rain. So, boy, it's a really fast-moving, and it's a wide stream. And so by the bank is this beautiful woman, and she's wearing very fine clothes. And obviously she's, concerned about trying to get across this stream and ruining her dress and all. And so, without hesitation, one of the monks offers to carry her across. And she gratefully accepts. And so he bends down, and she climbs upon his back, and he hoists her up, and then he just simply carries her across the stream. And when they're on the other side of the stream, well, the woman goes her way, and the two monks go their way. But one of the monk who did not carry the woman, he is really upset by this fact. He says, it's not right to touch a woman, especially one that is so young and beautiful. I mean, that doesn't go, you broke the rules. How could you do this? I mean, this is awful. You know that we cannot touch women, and you did it. And he just on and on and on. And the monk who carried the woman, he just listened silently for a while. And he didn't say a thing. And then finally he said, I sat her down by the river. You're still carrying her. And so close your eyes. Close your eyes. And meditate for a moment upon what you're still carrying. In other words, what happened in the past that you can't let go of? And isn't it time? What are you going to do? Okay, now, keep your eyes closed. Go ahead and keep your eyes closed, and we're going to move on to something different. Everything that surrounds you is an extension of you. Your mate, any children, your home, your furniture, your car, your pets, your yard, your office, your career, your level of success, are all physical expressions of your belief system and attitudes. Your environment is a reality picture of your core beliefs, expressing your self-image and cultural overview. So think about this concept. Now, what mind has created, mind can change. And change begins with the acceptance of new beliefs. Beliefs generate your thoughts and your emotions, which create your experiences. And if you aren't happy with your current life and want to change it, you must change your core beliefs. Now, these are your deep beliefs about allowing yourself to succeed in your career, to attain wealth, and find a fulfilling love relationship, and also to remain healthy, and so on. Your disharmonious beliefs are like a cage that restricts your potential in your life. But if you want to escape from the cage, you must first recognize that it exists and that you are not free. You cannot change what you don't recognize. Sadly, most people are unaware that they exist in a prison of their own making. So meditate upon what you can learn about yourself by examining your environment. Decide what beliefs are working against you. All right, you can open your eyes. Welcome back. You don't really need to write them down if you want. If Cindy is willing, I can just give you my notes and you can have them copied. But these are just a few stories I picked out at random from in different books. But you're getting the idea. You can just drop these in anywhere. and you can drop them in response to what your client is dealing with. Another story, a Zen monk. And he's walking, he's on a very long journey. And he comes to a river. And boy, this is a really wide river. And so, but he starts to walk along the bank on his side of the river. And it's very dangerous. It's all overgrown and it's very difficult. And so he decides, well, how can I can't swim that far. That's way too far. So what am I going to do? So he decides that, well, I better take the time to cut the poles and make a raft, and I can weave through the branches into the raft, and I can make a pretty sturdy raft, and I can pole across the river. And so he does. You know, it takes a little energy, but it's a lot better than trying to move through this overgrown side of the river. And so he makes a raft. And he successfully poles across the river. And when he gets on the other side of the river, he said, yikes, you know, that raft, that was really useful. I can't just abandon the raft. And so he hoists it up on his back, and he carries the raft along the other side of the river, which is open. And he has voluntarily, he has assumed an unnecessary burden. Something we all do. So I'd like you to close your eyes. Even good things, when they become a burden, need to be thrown away. More so, of course, if they're bad things. And so you close your eyes. And I'd like you to meditate upon the things you are carrying on your back that are not necessary. And this would include such things as useless and unnecessary discussions, old guilts, responsibilities maybe, obligations, all of the things that you can let go of. You've assumed the burden, you're carrying it. But boy, you'd better be off. Old loyalties even. So consider the changes in your life that would lighten your load and allow you to proceed at a brisker and freer pace. Yeah. Okay, you can open your eyes. Anybody find anything that's an old, a burden that you're just still carrying? I can't do this without having stuff come up. Old friendships sometimes. You know, you've outgrown your friends, or maybe you've grown sideways from your friends, and then you feel still guilty when you don't contact them. You know, if you could just let it go and say, well, you know, I wish them well. They're going to go their way and I'm going to go mine, but it really doesn't work because you don't enjoy the time that you spend together. Old loyalties, I think that's kind of an interesting one. Anybody have anything come up that you'd like to share? Or you're willing to share? Yeah, okay. Yes, they can. That's why you want to let them go. You are assuming an unnecessary burden when you keep dwelling. Yeah, yeah. Oh, you got your belief system is your whole life. Yeah. Everybody does.
I can understand the fact, why? Why? This prejudice against all of them.
Yeah.
It goes way back in early childhood.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Bible wasn't wrong. Beat the shit out of me.
Yeah?
And then on top of that, preachers, the way they,
Sure.
you know,
But from now on, you can simply say, I know the cause and I release the effect. I forgive myself. I forgive the church. I forgive all those that I was prejudiced against. Yep.
I understand that. Forgive
Yes, sir.
yourself, forgive everybody else.
Sure.
I've been there already.
And thus I set myself free.
Yeah, but I didn't realize how strong that belief system is
Sure.
in me right now.
Sure.
Just a few minutes ago.
Good, 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 Evan. Good.
To me, that's releasing it, to understand.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's, you bet. But sometimes forgiveness is necessary. Yeah, it really is. Yeah, so old guilts especially. Oh my God, if anybody's got old guilts, man, that is doing you no good carrying those. So
I just woke up good long ago.
good.
No problem. I've had a healthy, I've enjoyed it, and I want to.
And he even got healed by his enemy.
Oh, boy, that's a good one. And before I leave, I want to thank all of you lovely ladies that's taken care of me, you've fed me, given me rides in the car, taken out for lunch with you, and you've done so many things for me, and I really appreciate it.
I'm sure you are welcome.
Right, because it's, and that's the kind of love I haven't had for a long time.
Yeah, yeah, very good, very good.
Oh, but don't not.
That's
But
the
I
yin
did.
and the yang of it. That's
Yeah.
Beg pardon?
That's the yin and the yang of it. That's the balance point. You can have the opposite side, but say what you do.
The yin and the
Yeah.
yang. I got it.
All right. My soap opera is, I haven't had that kind of love for a long time.
That's true.
My soap opera is that all men are jerks. My soap opera is that I'm underpaid and I'm unappreciated. We've all got these stories, these bitches, the moans and groans, and we verbalize them without thinking. Literally without thinking. I've got fucked up astrology because my Aries doesn't line up with my mate's Capricorn. Yeah. My wife doesn't give me enough sex. Or maybe it's my husband always is after me for sex. Or maybe it's reversed. And Bush has screwed up the economy. Yes, that's true. Bush has screwed up the economy. So that soap opera, I guess, is okay. It's not my life. It's not my lot in life. My parents never had any money, and I suppose I'll never have any money either. Or my hemorrhoids are acting up again. Soap opera is just on and on and on. And the people close to you, they know your soap operas. They can hear them coming a mile away. Yeah, you don't even need to say them anymore. That's exactly right. Yep, they read it. So I'd like you to close your eyes. Just close your eyes. I'm talking about it. I'm not doing a countdown, Tina. I know. Yeah, after that energy, oh my God. All right, so you're closing your eyes. Closing your eyes, and we're going to explore your soap operas. Now, what is your primary, let's cut through it, and we'll go right to your primary soap opera. You know, your number, your gripe, your complaint. Now, what is your primary soap opera? If you had to pick just one, what is the one that comes up first? And now, when does it get aired? And who is your primary audience? Is it your mate? Is it your friends, your co-workers, your relatives, or maybe strangers, maybe your kids? Who's your primary audience? And now take your soap opera and simplify it down to one sentence. It's time to realize that every time you repeat your soap opera to others, you program your subconscious mind with more negativity. Every negative thought generates a cause and effect reaction, assuring that you continue to experience this negativity in the future. So all repeating your soap opera does is perpetuate it. How about deciding to end your soap operas once and for all? You could make a decision right now that you're never ever going to repeat that soap opera again. All right, you can open your eyes. Who's willing to share their soap opera? My soap opera is, now if we were in a bigger seminar, I would have you doing a group mill. That's where you're going up and you're looking at someone else, and I would have you repeat it. My soap opera is, and then I would turn on Linda Ronstadt's Poor, Poor, Pitiful Me song as loud as I could without distorting it. And it really makes a point with people. But you can do it in your office. You can turn on, you can have songs that you're just going to say, I want you to listen to the words of this song. And so, what was your soap opera? Okay, sure. 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 What about you, Isabel? I've got a curse, and I can't make any headway in my life because I'm cursed.
That's the second word. The primary is the witchcraft that was done to Theo. Because at last I had a chance at a relationship, and for the first time in my life, I was taken away.
Okay, okay, all
So
right,
it's the witchcraft.
okay.
Mine is I can't afford to
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Cadman? Cadman?
Can't get it right.
The what now?
Can't get it right.
You can't get it right. All right.
When so many things to do about it, I'm sorry. There's so many
Mhm.
things I want to do about it.
Okay.
You don't have time to work with all.
Now look at all the soap operas then. Yeah. Yeah, mine right now has a lot to do with the time too. I don't have time to breathe, it seems like. And I got to quit. Got to quit. Yeah. Yeah, oh, we all have a lot of soap operas, I guarantee you. Yeah. And the best thing that you'll have happen to you, probably, although I used to be resentful of it, was any time I would ever air my soap opera, Terry would say, I don't want to hear it. No, no. And no negativity. And, you know, that can make it a little difficult to block, you know, to talk about some of life issues that might have especially to do with money, like being realistic. Well, we got to look at this. But, and yet at the same time, I can appreciate the fact that I have really been programmed. Boy, do not repeat anything that's negative. And even to this day, we can be in a great mood and laughing, carrying on, and going out to eat or a film or something like that, and I bring up something, he said, Richard. You know, yeah, I know. Well, yeah, because it is doing no good. You know, it serves as a reminder that all I'm doing is making it worse.
But you're the one who's giving it energy.
Yeah.
You're the one who said that we shouldn't repress anything, that we should express our feelings.
Yeah, but then that sort of,
Release it.
yeah, then release it. It's just, you know, it's out of habit.
How are you going to express your feelings in a positive way that will build
Mm-hmm.
That you're programming it.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you express your feelings in a whole different way?
It's
Yes.
something external, you can't do it. Change it.
No, you can't. You can. You have to decide, I want to change it, and I'm willing to spend the energy and or program yourself so that every time I do, I recognize it. I cannot hide from myself. And so I automatically recognize it and I refuse to accept it. So whatever it is, you then think the reverse of your soap opera. I have plenty of money to do whatever I need to do in promotion.
What I see now, without
Yeah, yeah. You see, you reverse the power of it. And you can set it in mind that you will recognize it every time it surfaces. And,
I'll program them to be aware
mhm,
of their beliefs.
yeah,
And what do you want? Okay?
Yeah.
That's what you don't want, what do you want?
Yeah.
And I'll let them bitch for a minute, and when that minute is done, okay,
yeah.
where do you want to go?
Yeah, what do you want? By finding out what you don't want, your soap opera, and that's one area, it's only one little area of life, but that shows what you do want. And so you can do, now don't give me that closed body language and that look.
That's what people, you know, people that constantly say, you know, they say that I don't want, I don't want, I don't want. When you find that they leave one, they have no idea, they've never thought about that.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
You mean I can't think about it?
Yeah, what you don't recognize, you can't change what you don't recognize. You can't change what you don't recognize.
And all money has no value. It's a piece of paper that has nothing. You put the value on that money.
Yeah,
You say,
yeah,
you put the value, but that's absolutely no value.
That's why I
It's
pick
a
up
printed
pen.
piece of paper.
Well, I do too, because if you find a penny and pick it up all the day, you'll have good luck. And I'm not going to leave it laying on the ground.
And I believe they come from my son.
Yeah. No, I'm very much the same, Susan. Yeah, no, I pick up pennies too, just because, you know, I don't want to think that I'm too good to pick up pennies. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, and I read a story in, I don't know if you read it, but this high-ranking Chinese manager, with a, person walking, walking,
Yeah.
and he came to the restaurant, and that prime minister went down to the trash over the country.
Wow.
He said, wow, he said, I cannot believe what I saw.
Yes. Yes.
And I was satisfied.
He can be humble enough to do that. Yes, 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 yes. Without thinking about it, see?
Yeah.
I don't really think about, you know, I just think, oh, fine, penny, pick it up all day, I'll have good luck, and put it in my pocket. or something like that. You know, he didn't even think about the fact of what should I or shouldn't I, is it dirty? He just did it. Yeah.
No matter what the man said, but what if you did stop it, don't know, whatever.
Yeah. Cool, 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 cool. All right, let's do a quickie on resistance. Everybody in here has heard and probably repeated and told other people, what you resist, you draw to you. And it does seem to be so. What you resist, you draw to you. But much more important is that from a karmic perspective, what you resist and don't handle, you will become. And that is something you're probably going to, because most of your clients probably have not heard that. What you resist, and in other words, if you can't rise above the resistance in this life, then you're going to become. So in other words, you know, we're here to fulfill our dharma, to resolve our karma, and to rise above fear, in my mind. And any form of resistance is fear. Now, you can learn the hard way or the easy way. But as an example, if you resist Arabs, well, you just really hate Arabs. Doggone, I can't stand them, the Muslims, and they're in the news all the time, and they're causing all this trouble. Don't do that. Don't do that. Or you will be reborn you will reincarnate as an Arab. Or it may be simply or if you resist liberals or gays or foreigners in general. Or maybe all this amounts to, can be summarized as someone who's different from you. Now, the one area of my life I have resisted, and I mean really resisted, is the born-again Christians, because they have made my life miserable. And they have cost me a huge amount of money. And so I have resisted those people, and I've written articles and some of this stuff. But, oh my God, when I really pay attention to this, I wish them well. Today, I go with God. I really wish you well. Because, man, if there's anything I don't want to become, it's a born-again Christian. Or a fundamentalist. Oh, and so you keep that in mind.
I'm coming back as a preacher.
Yeah, I'm born-again Christian, raving crazy. But they caused us just, we had our lives threatened. We have had, we just...
Very Christian.
Oh, yeah, I know. Of course, most of what they do is about as Christian as not. But no, we received a lot of death threats, and we had some people that we really had to have security from. Oh yeah, we spent $40,000 one year just in security alone from them. So, no. And everybody in the family had to learn to drive a square block before they went home, because if somebody is following you after you've gone around a square block, I mean, if a car is still behind you, they're following you because you have just gone up, boom, 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 and back. And so at the height of all this, and there were other people, there was a little more crazies, but it just really, we had somebody in the sheriff's department who was monitoring this one person. It's just no fun.
Is it from a seminar you had done?
Oh no, it's just from something I had, there's a book called Hidden Dangers of the Rainbow. Thankfully I forget the name of the author. And it was a best-selling book to the Christian people. And it talked about me as one of the 12 devils loose upon the planet.
Your name was in there? Her book?
Yeah. I was listed as this devil. And the people I was in there with were wonderful people. I mean, David Spangler, who's really big in England, is a metaphysical author.
Really nice weather.
Or Buckminster Fuller was in there. Yeah. For some reason, she decided he was the devil. I had written articles upon the fear in religion, in Christianity, the fear-based religion, and how it should be revamped. And so that really, but she went so far as to go on radio shows, and I would refuse. I would not play, because she tried to get me on these radio shows where they're a Christian show to begin with and make it worse. And then she just went too far, and she said, well, he is openly advocating the killing of Christians. On a radio show, I have the transcripts of it.
Yeah, I know, when I pass certain houses, they're automatic, you're just shot.
Yeah, so
Have you tried to talk to them? Maybe go someplace else.
you don't talk to these people.
Have you tried?
No, in the old days, yes. 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 No. Cheyenne came home the other night, and she's just 21. And I said, what's wrong? You know, because I can sense what's going on with her a mile away. There's nothing. And I thought, well, she'll talk about it if she wants to. And she came back upstairs after a while and sat down beside me and put a whole bunch of vodka in her watermelon juice. And I said, baby, we got to talk about what's going on. And I thought it'd just been, you know, it would be boyfriend trouble. B'nai was doing something. And she never drank the drink. I mean, she took one swallow and it was horrible to her. But she had done something really nice for her uncle. Tara's got a half-brother, and his son died. And Cheyenne could not attend the funeral. And so she'd promised him that she would come over and cook them all dinner, the family. And Hunter went with her, and so did her boyfriend. But Tara's cousin is a born-again Christian. And how he can still be, I don't know, because the church let him go, and the only people that supported him were New Age people. But he just decided, after Cheyenne spent $100 of her own money to cook a beautiful, she worked half the day, cooked a beautiful dinner, took it over there, they all enjoyed it, and then her uncle decided that we should have a discussion of religion and politics. The two subjects you don't touch. And so she took the high road, and she decided, I'm not going to discuss this. And boy, could she discuss it if she wanted to, believe me. And so, you know, she had to listen to everybody else discuss it and rant. And at the end, I think Hunter said, well, Cheyenne doesn't have the intellect to discuss this, which just infuriated her. And in the end, it just was about being put in that position. But she did take the high road, which is not like her. Usually she'll dive in with fists flailing. And I had to take her out of a school where she was the only liberal in the school. They were all conservatives, including the teacher. And so whenever there was an issue come up to be discussed, she was the only one in any of her classes. And so she was just a huge outsider in a Republican, very rich area. But, you know, it made her stronger, and she understands. So we talked about it a little while. And her mom talked to her about it even longer. And it's like, oh. But, you know, I really do try to not resist them today. So, I don't want to become one. Now, I know somebody very close to me who absolutely cannot tolerate either gays or Mexicans. And Mexicans are who he's grown up with because they're in the school system, you know, in California. And he just can't stand them, and he never, you know, any opportunity to express negativity. And I say, you know, probably about 2095, guess who's going to be reborn as a gay Mexican? And you keep it up. So, We can learn through love and wisdom, or we can learn the hard way. And the hard way, in this case, would probably be coming back and, I find the Mexican people to be, my experiences with the next generation, the generation that's been here a while, and theirs is with the kids. So it's a different experience. But these are the most family-loving, loyal, really beautiful people. So I may come back as a Mexican just because the other side of the coin. But okay, I won't linger. Well, we're almost at break time, so I'll finish this up with another little story or so. This is about travelers. This is a Sufi story. And it's about travelers who are passing a monastery. And the people, this group of travelers, they saw everybody in the monastery in catharsis. They were just acting and, screaming and yelling and pounding the ground. And they were acting insane. And in the midst of all this was the master, Sufi master, and he was just sitting there, not affected by what was going on around him. And the people who were going past him, they were thinking, oh my God, this is insane. Get out of here. And a few months later, and the people that were going past the monastery, they figured the master was just too old and tired to deal with what was going on, all this crazy shit. And so a few months later, the same travelers came by, but now all the people were sitting in meditation surrounding the master. And they went in and they were looking around, and then they went on their way. And when they came back again, a few months later, there was no one there. And the master was sitting all by himself. And they came in and said, well, why? What was this? All these insane people. And then they were sitting here, and now there's nobody. And so the master said, you observed the beginners the first time that you came by. And they were full of madness. And so I let them release it. I encouraged them to release the madness. And the second time they came by, they had obtained realization. And so there was nothing for them to do but sit in meditation. And he says, now, those students are gone. I'm waiting for new students. And so I'd like you to close your eyes for just a moment. And I would like you to meditate upon any madness that you need to release to calm down. In other words, what is the madness within you that if you'd like to release, you'd release it if you weren't worried about what other people think. And the madness, chances are, will be a desire, something that you really like to do, but you don't do it. And if you were to do it, it's probably going to require dropping a mask. So what you desire, you also fear. You can choose to experience the fear or to avoid it. Avoidance will be safer and may offer less growth potential than to experience it. But karmically, neither choice is right or wrong. Your decision is going to generate an outcome, and the outcome will provide the lessons. So what is it that you would really like to do? regard to whatever it is that you really like to do, I would like you to think about the different ways that you could respond to this desire. What are your potential choices? Would anyone else be hurt by you doing what you really desire to do? And any time that you are considering the pursuit of a desire, you're considering risking. Behind every risk is a fear of loss. The loss of love, the loss of control, or the loss of self-esteem. Now, which of these applies to your risk? Which applies? Loss of love, loss of control, or loss of self-esteem. And now, what is the clear purpose of your desire? The clear purpose. Okay, now, if you attempt to fill your desire, what is the best that could happen if things work out in your favor? The very best that could happen. And what is the worst that could happen if it didn't work out? All right. Now, is the potential loss greater than the possible gain? Who else would like to see you fulfill your desire? Is there someone else that would like to see you do this? And who would prefer that you do not fulfill your desire? Now, if you're afraid of acting in regard to pursuing this desire, what is holding you back? What's holding you back? If you should fulfill your desire, will it result in a more honest and a freer life? Yes and no. would your fulfilled desire be a growth step that could improve the quality of your life? All right, now, you can't grow without taking chances. And if you've decided to pursue your desire, don't sit back and wait for the perfect moment to act, because it almost never comes. And if you're considering the pursuit of an emotional desire, realize that your risk is simply being honest in expressing your feelings. You can open your eyes on the count of 3. Number 1, 2, and 3. Wide awake, wide awake. Too much trance. Too much trance. Oh, yeah, too much trance. Okay, we could do this for a long time, but we reached a good spot to take a break. And you can see, I'm sure, the value of these little stories in counseling, in seminars, many, many different places. All you'd have to do is go get a Zen and a Sufi book, and you'll have lots of stories.